Hey everybody, this is Liz Coopersmith of Silvertrum Events and my home office in beautiful downtown Burbank. So the interesting thing is, and I don't know if you can hear the background noise, but my neighbors across the street are somehow destroying their house to rebuild it or something like that. They've been working on this the past few days. I thought I caught them during a break and I was wrong. But welcome to day 2 of Ask Liz Week. I hope that you enjoyed yesterday's video. So I actually, like I was telling you yesterday, one of my favorite bartenders at one of my favorite bars is getting married this summer. And once I started telling him that he could go ahead and ask me questions, he kind of didn't stop. So we were over there for brunch on Sunday, and well, actually, truthfully, I was the one who started this. I asked him about the wedding because that's what I do, and I asked him about the bar specifically, about whether or not he can bring in his own alcohol into his venue, or if he had to use their alcohol. And he told me that he could bring his own alcohol in, which was great because they could save money that way, which is true. Generally speaking, you can save money if you bring your own alcohol in, just because there are like service charges and labor costs and, you know, fixed labor costs with the venue. So that's actually a relatively good way to do it, but there's also just sort of like a flip to that as well. So yeah, so he said that they could bring in their own alcohol, and since all of his friends are bartenders, what he was going to do was ask everybody to bring in, you know, alcohol and, you know, wine and spirits and everything, and they would be able to figure it out that way. There's a few things, basically when you're DIYing anything wedding-wise, if you're DIYing anything, if it's invitations, if it's flowers, if it's favors, there's 3 challenges to every DIY project. First of all, storage. Where are you going to put it before you put it together? Where are you going to put it after you put it together? Where are you going to put it once you get it to the venue? The second one is labor. Who is it who's going to put it together? You know, who is it who's going to put the DIY project together? Who is it that's going to take the DIY project to the venue? Who is it who's going to put the DIY project out? Excuse me. And then time. And so that is time to put the DIY project together, the time to take the DIY project over to the venue, and the time to actually manage the DIY project. And if you think about it, like the few things that people do DIY, when you're talking about even something like flowers or favors, or even music, you know, if you're planning on doing an iPod wedding, these are the 3 things that you've got to think about, because if you don't figure it out, it's going to end up being you, and that doesn't really lead for like the biggest fun day. So anyway, going back to the bartender wedding. So he said he was going to ask his bartender friends to bring alcohol. And then again, you've also got that thing like, okay, well, you've got a lot of people who are coming from Los Angeles and taking a ferry over to Catalina. So where are they going to be storing that alcohol when they get to Catalina? Is it going to be dropped off at the venue? Or are they going to drop it off in his hotel room? At that point, how is he going to get it over to the venue? And then also, as far as labor, he's going to have somebody serve the alcohol. Self-serve bars are not good. Self-serve bars are not a good way to save money or save time. So you need to find somebody who's going to be able to do it. Whether you can hire somebody locally, whether you can have a couple of his bartender friends like step up and serve, but that's something that's got to be figured out. And then also the time, like the time it takes to get everything over there, the time it takes to set it up, the time it takes to actually manage it. So, you know, we talked a little bit about that. And then also figuring out exactly how much it is that you need. For instance, you can get like 4 glasses of wine, 4 glasses of wine out of a bottle. And of course it's like slightly less slightly more depending on the size of the bottle for any of the liquor that you bring. You've got to think that every one of your guests from the cocktail hour to the end of the reception or last call is going to have somewhere between 2 and 4 drinks. But you should probably know your crowd by now. There is in the blog that this is posted on on my website, silvertrimevents.com. If you go to blog and you go to this Ask Liz, I've got a few links to some things that will help you. A Practical Wedding a couple years ago came out with a wedding bar calculator, which is very, very good, and also has diagrams, which I love. Like exactly how many glasses of wine you can get out of a bottle of vodka, or a bottle of wine, or stuff like that. And just has a really good calculation. I also posted an article I did on the brokeassbride.com a couple of years ago about setting up a DIY bar. That includes things like always think about ice. Everybody always forgets about ice. I'm always reminding my day of coordination clients who do DIY bars to get ice. And there are a few really good places in Los Angeles. I don't know what they have in Catalina. For him, I told him to ask his venue for recommendations as far as like if they could provide ice or if they knew somebody on the island who could provide it. People always forget about ice. They always forget about water. And from time to time they forget about soda. So both of those articles should help you with that. But I mean, I don't know. I actually haven't had any problems with DIY bars at all. Just as long as you're set up, just as long as you're thinking about what it is that goes into it. Because what you want to do at every part of your day is enjoy your day. And a big part of that is just knowing what that's going to look like and what it should look like. And just make sure that you ask as many questions as you can. You might not be using the venue's facilities, but they can certainly point you in the right direction of how to get this done correctly. And just sort of don't stress yourself out too much. Just set it up so that you can enjoy your time, that you can enjoy this day that you created, that you can enjoy your friends and family, and just have a good time. So thank you very much for listening and watching this video. Like I said, you can go to my website at silvertrimevents.com. That's silver like metal, charm like a bracelet, eventsplural.com. Hit on blog, find this post, and you will find the links to those two articles. If you have an Ask Liz question of your own, because I run out of bartender questions this week, go ahead and email me directly at liz@silvertrimevents.com, or you can go to the contact page on my website and just let me know what you need. Thanks a lot, you guys, and I'll see you at the end of the aisle. Bye.